That's life.
Squeeze. Nice. Impressive. Game time. Hide. Love it. You chose well. Watch out. Excellent. I'm ready. Defog.
E.
Watch out. Match. Easy. I accept. Connect. Swiftly done. Yeah. Kick it up. On.
Womp womp.
Challenge. Rock. Yes. Swiftly done. Watch out. Oh, me. On it. Knock it off. Great. Watch out. Tidy.
Womp womp.
Prepare yourself. Turn on. Excellent. I'm ready. Unplug. Nice. Take that. Watch out. Knock down.
Womp womp.
Complete package. Watch out! A triumph! Game time! Squeeze! So good! Good stuff! You chose well. Prepare yourself. Off!
Womp womp.
Knock it off! Impressive! Watch out! Get it! Yes! I accept. Tidy. I see. Clever. Yeah. Plug it. A challenge. Act quickly now. Hammer. A triumph. Remove all.
Womp womp.
Turn on. Wow. Game time. I can take 'em.
Okay. Cup, boots, hairdryer.
Complete package.
Okay, and boots, hairdryer. Okay. Come on. bag. Whew. Whew. Alright. Hairdryer, cup, boots. Okay, boots, bag, cup. Hairdryer, cup. Get away. Okay, bag. Cup, hairdryer, boots. Nice. Okay. Womp womp!
Connect.
Womp womp!
This isn't over.
Oh,
I'm wrong.
dude.